I watched a talk recently where you shared that you have a short lifeline on your hand, and I actually have the same. And throughout my early 20s, I adopted this philosophy of live fast, die young. And I race cars, I do all these crazy things. I have no fear when it comes to taking risk. But as I entered my 30s, I really let go of this belief because I realized it became a huge limiting belief, and I was actually sabotaging maybe my health and like different the decisions that you just make. And I'm curious to know about the relationship you have now with your lifeline and how it's guided your inner path.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't know you had that. And you know what? Exactly what you said is exactly what I did also. So, I'll give you a funny story about this lifeline. So, for me, my mom had this guy come from India when I was a child, and, he would read everybody's hand and he put it on a tape. And I think I was like 12 or 13 at the time. And the tape actually said she has this really short lifeline. And it was always, and I interpreted that to mean I'm going to die like at any time, right? I'm going to die really young. And I think we don't realize subconsciously the impact on the decisions we make. Maybe that's why I collected all of these degrees. Maybe that's why I tried to be a grown up, way before. But what was really interesting about it, Farah, and kind of very, it's a great kind of symbol of me letting go, like you let it go. I bought my first life insurance policy when I was 18 years old. I'm not kidding you. I went and I bought $1 million life insurance policy. And I remember the life insurance guy sitting across the table from me, and he's like, but you're 18 years old. Why are you buying a life insurance policy? I will always remember his name. Larry Shuffman was the guy, the insurance guy, because he was just sitting there going like, what are you doing? You're in college. I was in law school actually at the time. I'd already got into my first year of law school. And I'm like, and I want, and I'm like, my beneficiaries, I wasn't, my beneficiaries were my parents, right? So I was like, and I would like to leave my mother and my father, and not that they needed anything, but this was the frame of mind that I was in, that I was going to die very young. And I just wanted to make sure, if anything happened, my parents were, and everyone was going to be okay. And here's what I did for it. I paid the insurance policy like for the next 10 years, like upfront. Because I was thinking if anything happens and like, at least I know everyone is covered. And I remember when I turned 31, 32, when I left law, I stopped paying the premiums. And I remember Larry called me and he was like, well, it's time again, because the 10 years had passed. And he was like, it's time again to, to pay your premiums. And I said to him, no, I'm not paying it. I'm going to let it go. And he was like, well, you have enough interest. I don't know how insurance works. You have enough interest for it to cover you, for, I don't know, a couple more years. And I'll call you back in a couple more years and you tell me what you want to do. And he called me back after a couple of years and I said, no, I'm not paying the premiums. I'm actually going to live really long and everybody's going to be fine. It was this letting go of me, like letting go of law, letting go of all of those things. It was just this symbolic thing of going, no, like you're going to be fine. And, any of us can die tomorrow and you have to just let this thing go. So that's what it was for me, Farah. It was, though, up until that moment, you are correct. I was self sabotaging myself, making decisions, not thinking through what might be the consequences of that, because I didn't think I was going to be around for it.
Listen to more insights on the Mission Makers podcast through Apple, Spotify, and YouTube.